What is up, YouTube, and welcome. So this is my first video in my new room that I built. Don't pay attention, it's not finished yet. But as an avid aquarium hobbyist, I guess, this is kind of a big milestone for me, you know? I'm very excited to start this. This is my first 6-foot aquarium. Actually, I bought 2. So I'm gonna do something that's kind of sketchy, so hopefully this isn't like a tragic documentary, you know, but I do want to kind of document this to see how it goes. But I bought this rack from Home Depot. It is their Husky rack, and it says supposedly it's rated for about 2,000 pounds per shelf. And I have 2 6-foot tanks that I'm hoping to get going pretty soon. I built this room here to have like a little office space, and I think it's gonna look super cool to have like 2 giant aquariums right here. So follow along, I guess. Hopefully this isn't, like I said, a tragedy, and hopefully everything goes well. Don't do as I do, you know, ask for help, maybe do something a little bit sturdier. Supposedly this should work, and I'm lifting all this by myself. I did the math, and I think the top tank is a bow front style 6-foot tank, which is kind of cool, but it's about 250 to 300 pounds, and I'm not the biggest guy around, so we'll see how this goes. This is about, I'd say, 5 feet off the ground. And then the bottom one's gonna be just a standard 6-foot 125. So yeah, I guess follow along, you guys. I 3D printed this jig real quick so I can drill it. So I'm gonna go outside real quick and just like, you know, drill this for like a bulkhead. I have an automatic water change system already set up. Maybe I'll do another video kind of showing you guys what I did. That was like a super simple thing where if you have like a kitchen faucet or something, you can like tee off of that and all you need is just a drain. But yeah, I'm gonna go drill this, the hole for the bulkhead real quick, and then we will see, I hope I don't drop it. We will see me lift that tank on here, maybe set up the, actually no, I have to do the plumbing for the automatic water change system. And yeah, I painted it yesterday. The back glass, I painted that black. And yeah, end goal is the top tank is gonna be hopefully a semi-planted like South American, Central American cichlid tank. And the bottom one, I don't know yet, we'll see. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drill that tank real quick. I'm being kind of redundant, and I will show you guys me bringing that tank inside, and hopefully everything goes smooth. All right, you guys, so I just finished drilling the tank. That came out perfect, no issues whatsoever. It took forever, but I put the bulkhead on. I actually put aquarium silicone, just like black silicone on the inside and outside of the bulkhead seal, just to be positive it doesn't leak on me. So that takes, I think, like 24 hours to fully seal. A few more points about this rack. Again, it's the 77-inch long Husky rack from Home Depot. I'll try to post like a link or something so you guys can like check it out if you guys are interested. But yeah, it's 77 inches from this outer edge to the opposite edge. The actual opening for the shelf is 72 inches, which is 6 foot, which sounds perfect, you know, for a 6-foot tank. But with like the black trim around the tanks, they are about 73 and a half. So I'm hoping, you can kind of see it here, there's this open space on the side. There's a little bit of a crossbar here that the rack uses for like diagonal support. I'm hoping I can like on the opposite edge, slide the tank and kind of like slide it in here, and then finish putting it on top and then slide it this way again. That way it fits. If not, you guys will see me just completely fail. And then I don't know what I will do because I bought this already. I'd have to buy, I guess, like regular sticks of steel and like weld up a new one, but hopefully that works. Height wise for 2 tanks, I wanted to have enough space in the bottom to work on it. So from here to here, I think I'm gonna have about 1 inch, but I can reach it from the top over this shelving, over this top shelf. I'm keeping this just to have a little bit more this direction support. And I'll probably only have like the grating on that half. That way I can still put like, I'm gonna put 2 FX6 filters on top to run both of these tanks. And that way I'll still be able to adjust this. So this is gonna go down 1 more notch. That way it's like straight right here. And I'm gonna have about, I think, 1 inch of leeway. So this is just up here so I can get on here a little bit easier. Also, I'm using this 1/4 inch yoga mat to hopefully level it out in case there's any sort of like inconsistencies. I kind of have low expectations that this is going to work, just because when I lift the tank up and rest it on this, I'm going to pick up the rest and kind of like push it and slide it on, and I think this is going to slide, you know, kind of like that. And if it does that, of course it's not going to work, because me trying to keep this here while trying to lift up the tank, I think again it's like 200 to 300 pounds. It's a heavy tank. It's not going to be doable. So if it works, great. If not, I'll just take it off and rely on just the wood. The wood is resting on the grating, so there is enough support there. Also, if I do end up posting that photo of the Husky rack, you'll see there's like these support beams that go underneath. There's 3 of them per shelf. The tanks, I think the thinnest point isn't going to be on the edges, because this is a bow front. So what I'm going to do is, what I already did is I cut off these notches, and these notches kind of sit on the bottom lip of these supports, of these cross beams, and they like tie them together. So I ended up cutting these off. That way they can like rest on here without having to tie it to the bottom. And I put one on each edge. So this one actually has 5 of these across it, 1 on each end, and then 3 down the center. So hopefully that helps. The rack has a little bit of forward and back play. Might be because there's no weight on it yet. I'm hoping that's what it is. It is sitting on 2x6 pieces of lumber. If I get the tank on here and it's full of water, or even before that, and if there's still a lot of play, I'm probably going to weld up some brackets and like anchor this to the walls. I don't think I'm going to need to, but we'll see. Anything else? I think that is it. I'm kind of dreading this next moment, because I know it's gonna suck, for lack of better words. It's gonna be a heavy tank, and I measured this. It's not 5 feet. I'm sorry. It's like 3.5 feet. But if it's gonna feel like 5 feet, it's still pretty high. It's like above my hip, close to like my chest level. So yeah, wish me luck, you guys. You know, we'll see if these muscles are strong enough to lift up that tank. And yeah, so I guess stick along, and hopefully it's not a catastrophic failure, you know? That sucked. Don't do as I do. I don't know if you guys saw in that clip, but I was not able to pick that up, at least not easily. What I ended up having to do was I got a 5 gallon bucket, and I set it down, and I picked up the tank, set it on that, and then picked it up from there. I wasn't able to reach underneath it. My arms were too short, I guess. But yeah, as you guys can see, it's mounted. Not mounted, it's up there now. It fit. I will say, if your tank is 73 inches long, it's not going to fit right away. I ended up having to notch these 2 bars and kind of bend them out a little bit. I'm a little embarrassed to say I didn't even notice them when I was doing all these measurements and stuff. All I noticed was just that horizontal bar, or that diagonal bar. But yeah, I was able to get this up there. I have my drain hooked up already. Yeah, it's a 3/4 inch. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's a 3/4 inch drain, a 1/4 inch feed, into the aquarium. I ended up having a bail on the yoga mat just because I did the measurements, and at 72 inches, it was going to be about an inch short. And I didn't want these edges to be unsupported. I feel like it would have done like a high spot all the way across, maybe cause it to fail. So hopefully, this is good. Adding to the list of things not to do that I just did, I have yet to leak test this. I bought this used. I think it's beautiful. Hopefully, usually I'm either very lucky or very unlucky, and hopefully this is one of those scenarios where I am lucky and it does not leak on me. I'm hoping to do a cichlid tank, South and Central American. I don't know exact species yet. I kind of want to do like some Geophagus spani or spani, however you pronounce it. And I have some, this is my quarantine tank. It's just a 40-gallon breeder, which I feel like it helped a lot, just the weight from keeping this from moving whenever I was mounting it. But I have just 2 parrot cichlids in there, a blood parrot and a platinum parrot. I think they'll stay pretty small, so I don't know if those are gonna stick around. I might rehome them. But I have the sponge filter going. I just turned it off for the video, but it's keeping it like, the bacteria and stuff active for whenever I do get the future inhabitants of this tank. Hopefully they have a month or so of quarantine before they go up there. Like I said, I do want to do some Geophagus. So I bought this black sand. It's black sandblasting material. It's just sand, it's black sand. It's the black bag that you want to do. And it's 50 pounds. I think it was like 15 bucks. So it's pretty cost efficient. I need to buy, I think 2 more bags, and maybe I think I'm gonna do like 2.5 bags per tank. I don't know if the bottom tank is actually gonna fit. The other tank that I have is a 6 foot 125. It's just a rectangle, not like this bow front. And now that I'm seeing this, the diagonal bars might keep it from fitting. So I don't know, maybe I'll end up having to do like a 75 or something down here and like call it a day. Kind of unfortunate. I really wanted to do like, have this basically like this wall of aquarium, but it is what it is. I'm going to remeasure and see if maybe I can make it fit. I might make it fit, but I don't know. I have this stuff I got on Amazon. It's just like a grate material. I'm hoping to have it as like a semi-planted aquarium. I know cichlids like dig, and especially like Geophagus if it's sandy material. So I'm hoping if I put this down first, put like root tabs or like something underneath it, the plants will be able to like grab onto this and it'll keep them from like being uprooted so easy. So we'll see if that works. If not, I guess it'll just be like every other like cichlid tank where it's just like rocks and stuff. I'm hoping not to do rocks just because it's already heavy enough. But yeah, I have the water change system pretty much set up. That's a 1/4 inch silicone hose that feeds water. I designed and 3D printed this bracket that is gonna slide onto the glass, and then the hose fits inside of there very snugly. And that's gonna pretty much just like throw water inside at an angle. The drain is over here, like I said. It's a 3/4 inch bulkhead that just drains down and out into my backyard. What else? The water is controlled by a sprinkler controller. Let me show you guys that real quick. Excuse the mess. I have a bunch of stuff going on right now. But basically one of those. I have, that's just a garden hose. Sorry, it's an RV water hose, if that matters. But it's a hose, and at the base of that hose on the other end, there is a, what are they called? Like a shower head temperature controller. And I have it set to about 70, 75. And that feeds that water that goes to that blue RV water filter that like takes out a bunch of like metals and stuff, which, doesn't hurt. I'm gonna change that probably like every 3 to 6 months. Below that, that's the sprinkler controller. So it's a Rainbird system. It has 4 ports, and each one of those ports is controllable with your phone. Those are controlled by that thing hooked up to my outlet. It's a Wi-Fi Bluetooth, I forget what it is, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, one of the two, controller for this. That way I can use my phone, set the zones, and do you guys see my dog? Sorry, he's not supposed to be back here. But once I set I can use my phone and kind of see here. Here's the Beehive. That's the brand BHIVE, and just water manually. That's gonna be my top tank zone 1, and I set it for however many minutes. I have some control knobs here, and I messed with it for a little bit before I put this up here, and I have it set to where about every minute or so it does about a gallon of water. So here's 2 minutes. If I hit start, it should start shortly. I do need to add some dechlorinator whenever I do this, but you know, all things considered, this is gonna cut down on maintenance so much. But there it goes, filling up with water. I need to wait 24 hours for the silicone over there to dry, but yeah, hopefully there's no leaks. Hopefully the grading system works and I can get some fish coming. I got to order them still, but I'm excited. I don't know what the next clip is gonna be. Probably me just doing like the sand and like the grading and stuff. I ordered some plants. I have a 75-gallon inside of my house. This is my garage with like jungle vel and stuff, so I'll probably just steal some of that. I have a big Amazon sword. I'm probably gonna steal 2 and put it in this. And then I am 3D printing out of PET G. I think it's cool. A saber-tooth smilodon skull. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool, like a cave type of thing. And like once like algae and stuff and moss grows over, it's gonna, I think it's pretty cool. I didn't want to do like just rocks and stuff because I want to try to keep the weight down, you know, keep the weight down, even though this is going to be like 2,000 pounds or something. But yeah, just, I guess stay tuned. Hopefully there's no sad, catastrophic update, you know.